Well, November 14th marks the sweet 16th anniversary of ShadowRockZX. And my wife's birthday too! Hooray! I started out this channel with Mega Man Bound Network centric content such as modded battles, challenges, the Rise of the Shadows miniseries that gave birth to my totally original character, right? And the accompanying ShadowRock patch for Bound Network 6. It didn't take long after that until I got into streaming and posting gameplay videos, both from the Mega Man franchise and some of my other favorite games. Heck, I still have a Kingdom Hearts 2 video that stands as my most viewed video even today. Thanks, Maruna. If I ever get to say I produced a video that got 1 million views within my career, it will likely end up being that one. Eventually, I decided to put my own self out there more by including my voice commentary in Let's Plays, or Mega Plays as I called them. My LP of Mega Man Bound Network 5 Double Team DS being the first voice project that I felt satisfied with. As time went on, streaming ramped up significantly as well, and I have been fortunate enough to have had many wonderful hosts such as Hero Azure, Thy Gameplay, Sapphire Stars 11, Neo Eclair, Mega Quint, our editor, and everyone from my Discord mod team and more joining me throughout my journey, filled with tons of laughs along the way. The most recent arc that the channel has gone through began shortly before the fateful day that Mega Man 11 was announced, when I started up the Mega News Roundup series, where I gathered up the latest news and provided my opinions and speculations about the goings-on. People like the folks at Protodude's Rockman Corner already do an amazing job of keeping the fans up to date, but at least at the time, I didn't really see anyone covering Mega Man news in a video format that you can just put on in the background and listen to. Certainly, outside of what little you got from mainstream news outlets, there was nobody dedicated to Mega Man news on YouTube. Not solely anyway. To be fair, the franchise was all but dead at the time, so that's perfectly understandable. Nevertheless, I decided to fill the niche myself and reported on news surrounding the Mega Man series and NT Creates games like Azure Striker Gunvolt, mostly because news about the Blue Bomber was light before the advent of Mega Man 11. And I believe one of the strengths of having a video format is that I could insert my opinion and speculations a lot more into everything that I'm talking about, as opposed to a written piece where usually you gotta separate the opinion from the facts. The downside to video is it takes a long time to make, and that's why it's a roundup and not a million different individual news pieces blasting your subscription feed. Not that that would be a good idea in the first place. But man, oh man, when Mega Man 11 did get announced, it was immediate. I quickly got to work covering everything I could and creating analysis videos, giving my predictions on how the game would play, the Robot Master lineup, that I recall we as a community figured out almost from day one, impressive, and several other aspects. It was also around that time, covering the Mega Man X Legacy Collection and Mega Man 11, that I met other Mega Man content creators and members of the press, some of which I looked up to, like Protodude himself. Additionally, I was fortunate enough to be recognized as a member of the press by Capcom themselves, so that I could produce early reviews for those games, which has eventually led to my current status as a Capcom creator. Not to be confused with being an employee, of course. Not even close. The main perk of that's relevant to the channel is review copies. Anyway, that Mega Man 11 hype cycle was a busy time for me in the channel, but through that hard work, I had managed to more than double the channel's subscriber base. Thank you to everyone that joined us during that time, that's wild. Since then, there have been more legacy collections covered, and even Mega Man X Dive that basically turned ShadowRockZX into a mobile game channel for a time. Sorry about that. Looking back, one thing I learned is that ShadowRockZX has never stayed stagnant, and never been afraid to move on to try new ideas, while keeping the focus on having fun at the core of what we do. Which brings us to the present time, here at the end of 2024. X-Dive has long reached its end of service in all regions, leaving us with an offline version, and the last Legacy collection was Bound Network in 2023. What is next for the Blue Bomber? There is rumor mongering here and there that there could be a new game someday. Nobody really knows on the video game front. After all, the series producer Kazuhiro Tsuchiya recently left the company, and since then it appears that Masakatsu Iguchi of Bad Network fame, Mr. Famous himself, has taken up the mantle as the face of the brand. Although it hasn't been officially confirmed yet if he's going to be the new producer, I would certainly be for it. But at the very least, Iguchi has been making appearances, such as during the Exoprimal collab, and a couple of times now both him and official Capcom accounts has mentioned the existence of a Mega Man team. And every time someone brings up Mega Man in an investor meeting, Capcom reps are like, well, okay guys, we're working on it, alright? We just gotta figure out what we're doing here. At least that's the gist of it. So, I don't think the franchise is dead, but Capcom is seemingly trying to figure out where to proceed from here. And we may be waiting a long time to see what comes of that. After all, the big wigs at Capcom are probably just as shocked as us how well the Bad Network Legacy Collection did. Like, that game did some gangbusters very early on. Very unprecedented for the franchise. In the meantime, what we do know is Udon now has the rights to make new Mega Man comics out of the Robot timeline. Oh gosh, I pray that we get a proper modern Mega Man X comic out of this deal. Please! Speaking of, whatever happened to the Mega Missions book? They announced it forever ago and it's never really been mentioned again. Maybe it's rights reasons. That's probably the most likely case, to be honest, but man, what happened to that? At the very least, they are bringing Rockman-chan and Rockman-san to English audiences at least, along with new art books that cover the rest of the Mega Man franchise that has never gotten art books before. Heck yeah, dude! And don't forget the X-Dive art book is being brought to Western audiences as well. Meanwhile, in the near future, on December 10th, there's going to be this secret level show coming to Amazon Prime Video that will have a Mega Man themed episode within it, complete with a new look for the Blue Bomber. Not too bad at least. I think it's better than Fully Charged. Looks like they're going all in with the visor for Classic Mega, which kind of invokes Star Force Mega Man. But I mean, I guess we'll see how it shakes out. I'm at least thankful it seems to be CGI animation and not live action. I wonder what happened to that live action Mega Man movie anyway. We haven't heard about that one in a long time. I think the last thing we heard was that the guy behind the Batman was penning the script. There may have been an interview or two, and that's about it. Kotobukiya, among other toy manufacturers, are still hard at work putting out new model kits, including the long-awaited Axel. That's right, all the S-Class Hunters together again. Dude, they're doing frickin' Sigma, Base EXE, more X-Armors, Mega Man 11 special weapons. Oh my god, all these look frickin' phenomenal. Like, I want to buy them all. If only I had the budget. Because I'm going to need a wallet the size of Sigma to buy all these. This year has also felt like the big crossover year for Mega Man. Like, I know we've had crossovers in past years, but I don't know, this year they just came out with the woodworks like crazy. With appearances being made in Street Fighter 6, Exoprimal, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, Funko Fusion? Really? Yes, that exists. We got Mega Man and Brawlhalla, and more. To be fair, apparently many of these collabs happening now were planned a long time ago, maybe around the time of the 35th anniversary, and they're just now getting around to releasing them. Guess that 35th logo counts for something after all. But still, yeah, that's a lot of collabs happening at once. Shoot, something that just came up during recording. Mega Man X Legacy Collection 2, Volume 2, has made it onto the Platinum list along with Volume 1 at 1 million units sold. That's right, 1 million people have literally bought Mega Man X7, let's go! But hey, last year, Capcom kinda cheated by saying, oh yeah, Bad Network Legacy Collection's gone over 1 million already because we combined both of the volumes into the sales count. Well, you know, if we do the same thing to the X Legacy collection now, we can actually say combined the collection has topped 2 million units, and that's something a Mega Man game has never done before. Even Mega Man 11, the top game right now, is only at 1.9 million units sold. So hey, congrats to Mega Man X. Now where's X9? And lastly, as we always say, the fans will always keep Mega Man alive even in Capcom's absence. And this year is no different, with a couple of the first fully complete Mega Man X fan games making the headlines lately. No, it's not X Corrupted, unfortunately, but namely we have Mega Man X4 Not Beret and Mega Man X8 Demake, or Mega Man X8 16-bit. The latter of which is now getting the playable Axel and Zero mods that everyone wanted. Oh heck yeah. What's more, the Demake recently went open source, so now people can make all the mods they want, I guess. That's gonna be something. Along with that, there's been updates to existing fan games like Mega Man Maker, some really cool additions and exciting features there for sure. The Mega Man Mania style color hacks for the Game Boy games are still trucking along nicely too. And lots more, there's just too many to name. But the community is doing an amazing job. And don't forget all the preservation efforts being done, such as for all the Rockman feature phone games. It's a very, very exciting time for community development. As much as it's been an honor to highlight all these efforts, and I would like to keep doing so through streams and such, as I still feel it is very important, the fact remains that without a big new official game to talk about on the horizon, my personal motivation to continue the Mega News Roundups has been at an all-time low. It doesn't help either that my free time for the channel is severely limited these days, between my day job and keeping my wife happy. And Lord knows that with my ADHD brain, if I don't got the motivation, the drive to do the task, I'm simply going to put it off and do literally anything else whenever I finally do have some free time. To me, that's no way to live. It's taken me a long time to reflect on the content that I do and don't like to produce, and the direction I want to take the channel to finally accept that I'm no longer passionate for Mega News videos as I once was, and it would be best for me to take an indefinite break from it. After all, since my free time is so limited these days, and news is a very time-sensitive thing, I am no longer capable of keeping up in a timely manner while being fair to my mental health. That hurts to admit, since Mega News has been a core part of the channel for years by this point, and the reason many of you likely tune in at all. I'm not going to say Mega News will never come back though, because one of the types of videos I love working on to this day are the in-depth analyses and breakdowns I do on new games as they come out. A recent example of that is the content I put out on Card and Sale. Analyzing trailer footage and making predictions on games we don't know all the details about is a ton of fun, so why stop here? No doubt that when the day does come that there is a new Mega Man game to talk about, I will regain the motivation to do Mega News again. But next time, it's going to be in a focused format covering everything about that specific game that I can. I have less interest in constantly covering other aspects of the franchise, such as the merchandise and whatnot, as cool as it can be sometimes. Though individual video showcases and streams can still happen for topics and community developments I feel is important to highlight. I know this may come as a bombshell, but that does end the bad news thankfully. So now, I want to highlight the contents that I tend to work on moving forward. Number 1. Live streams will be coming back more frequently again. I do apologize for the drop in activity during October. Let's just say life got in the way, and being realistic, I can't promise that life won't get in the way again. That's just how my life is these days. But now that I don't have the added stress of trying to keep up with Mega News and all the time sensitive stuff, now that I can slow down and focus on what I actually want to do, I think it will help me to pace myself better and actually do something. So yes, live streams are coming back. I have so many things left unfinished and other ideas I want to do streaming wise. And I will be posting the stream schedules up on the YouTube community tab, my Discord server, Twitter X, and my new Blue Sky account. So please stay tuned for those posts for more information. I'm still mostly going to be streaming in the mornings before work around 11 AM Central Time. That seems to have been working best for me so far. If there are any evening streams, that's going to have to be on an off day for me. Number 2. Expect more reviews on Mega Man games, Inti-Create games, and even select Capcom games going forward. In addition to the analyses on new games that catch my eye. Those are not going away. And a big reason for that is because, speaking of reviews, I want to announce a new, extremely lengthy project that I plan to undertake soon. You may have seen the trend lately of people going through and reviewing the Mega Man franchise, or Derek from Good Vibes Gaming playing through all the games and making reviews for them. Well, I have decided to follow the trend myself, but with a twist. What remains the same is my goal to stream every Mega Man game under the sun and make a retrospective video on each one. Over the years, you may have heard my opinions on some Mega Man games sporadically through live streams, collabs with other YouTubers, on social media, or in my Legacy Collection reviews. But it's about time I compile them into standalone videos and expand on them a little bit. However, I don't want to do a review in the traditional sense. I feel like the super critical analysis type content has been done to death already by people much smarter than me. The twist then should slowly become apparent once I reveal the title for this project. Introducing Mega Memories. Instead of going in release order like what would make the most sense to most people, I want to take a trip down memory lane by revisiting the franchise in the order that I played the games as a child growing up. I want to take you all on my personal Mega Man journey as I rediscover what made me fall in love with the series so much that I made a whole freaking YouTube channel about it. To that end, my retrospectives would be about my personal memories of each game, at least as much as I can remember. You know, it's been a long time in some cases. How I felt about those games at the time, and whether I hold the same feelings today. To give you a sneak preview, my first game was Mega Man 3 on NES, followed by X1 on Super Nintendo. Oh yeah, that's right. We will be series hopping and going backwards and forwards and backwards again a lot based on the order I originally discovered and played the games. Because believe me, I did not go in order at all in most cases. So I hope that keeps things interesting, as I will end up hitting upon some of the more famous and infamous titles in the franchise faster than I would going chronologically. On the other hand, you're gonna have to wait a while before you see games like Mega Man 2 or X7 get covered. I know, crazy. With that said, please join me for my first stream of this project, Mega Man 3, in the near future, the timing of which I will announce separately. I'm also considering going original hardware as much as possible while going through the different games, or at least on the hardware that I originally played, like the Anniversary Collection or the Mega Man X Collection on GameCube, for example. And if there are games of multiple different versions, like, you know, Battle Network and Star Force, I'll try to cover the version differences there as well. Speaking of Battle Network, I'm not sure I can stomach 100% completing Battle Networks 1, 2, and 3 again, because I just did that on the Legacy Collection. So I might just do reviews for those when the time comes and skip the gameplay part. But definitely for 4, 5, and 6, I'm going to have to play through all of them, and Star Force as well. It's going to take a while. But I'm probably going to be making a separate Mega Memories video when I actually finalize all the details. So stay tuned. That's gonna about do it for this final episode of Mega News, at least for now. Apologies for the unfortunate news. I know it sucks, but I hope my retrospective project is enough to keep things exciting for now until the day that we find out what the next big Mega Man game is going to be. I have some other ideas floating around in my head, but whether those come to fruition or not, only time will tell. What I can say is, I'm working on it. In the meantime, I highly recommend going to Protodude's Rockman Corner for all of your Mega Man news needs. They are always killing it over there. Thank you all so much for sticking to me for 16 frickin' years. Holy crap. ShadowRockZX is slowly becoming an adult now. That's crazy. It's been an incredible ride, and I am so lucky I get to share it all with you. As always, stay tuned to this channel for all things Mega Man, whatever that may end up being, and until the next video, rock on and have a wonderful time zone.